Okay, so we're talking about finding the good, finding the light inside, finding that power that can drive me to happiness. That's what we're talking about. Well, the first thing to get that going is what they call today in therapy positive thinking. All right? The power of positive thinking. Rabbi Nachman lived more than 100 years before Freud, and Freud is considered the father of modern psychology. And today, all the modern psychologists reject Freud, but they have their own words to put it in. But whatever they teach, whatever they're going to say, Rabbi Nachman said it a couple of 100 years ago. And we talked about positive thinking. You think positive, well, it's good. You think negative, it's no good. The power of positive thinking is that you get things done. You'll accomplish things in life. If you think positive, it will be positive. It can happen. Now, one of the ideas of judging yourself favorably that we mentioned earlier is the idea of thinking good. If I'm going to think good, then where is my focus going to be upon? Good. I'm going to think good. I'm going to think positive. My focus, the whole focus of my life is good. If I'm going to think negative, then the focus of my life is not good. Right? What Rabbi Nachman is teaching is not only that you have to look for the good points of your life, you have to realize that you have a lot of positive feeling and meaning in your life. But it's sometimes covered with all the different things that we've done in life. And we tend to always look for the bad. We always tend to look for the negative. It's automatic, right? Whereas you think about it, a friend of mine pointed out once, Hallmark is a big company. They send out cards, greetings, right? Did you ever see a Hallmark card that said something bad or negative? Never, right? The idea is your message has to be one of positivity. Your message has to be one, I'm going to think good. I'm going to accomplish it. Right? There's a Gemara in Sanhedrin. The Gemara says, Machshava mo'eles afilu l'divrei Torah. A thought helps when it comes for Torah. What does that mean? Rashi explains, and this is very negative, but Rashi explains that if the person diverts his mind from Torah, from God, well then he's liable to forget all the good things that he had learned, or that he had accumulated from Torah. Rabbi Nachman says that's true. But let's look at it at a different angle. Machshava mo'eles, my thoughts will help even for Torah, even for good things. If I set my mind that I want to accomplish a certain amount of study, I want to finish the entire Chumash with Rashi this year. I want to learn all the Mishnah this year. I want to start Daf HaYomi. We just finished, let's start again. I want to start a Daf HaYomi. I want to learn the Zohar. I want to learn the Kabbalah. Right? It sounds far-fetched. But did you ever think that you could apply these thoughts to your life and actually study it and accomplish that which you set out to? Now this applies to everything. You can set your mind, you can overcome incredible obstacles. I'll tell a personal story that happened to me nearly 50 years ago, more, right? Maybe 60 years ago, yeah. 60 years ago, almost. I was 16 and a half. The year was 1962. It was shortly after the Cuban crisis. Nobody here looks old enough to remember the Cuban crisis. But it was, here I am, a kid, 16 years old, and I said to myself, you know what? Imagine you're about to have a nuclear war, blow up the entire world. I may get killed, and I haven't had the merit of visiting Eretz Israel. That's what I said to myself. 16 and a half. This is 1962. Today everybody travels to Israel. And then only the very wealthy could afford it. But I said I have to go to Eretz Israel. So I came home and I told my mother I want to go to Eretz Israel. Yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. Like any teenage kid, you know, whatever. But then a few weeks were passing and I kept on insisting. And hey, the kid's really serious. How are you going to get it? How are you going to do it? I had worked, I had some money, I had bar mitzvah money. I said, I'm going to Eretz Israel this summer. Well, I needed a ticket. I needed the money for the ticket on a certain date. And I'm walking home from yeshiva that night, and I say to myself, I have the money in my hand. I felt it. I had my mind set so hard that I'm going to Eretz Israel. Positive, I'm going, I'm getting there. I come home, my entire family was there. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, everyone. Okay, what's this story? You crazy, kid. What do you mean you're going? Nobody in the family had been there except for my grandfather who was on pension already. So, what do you mean you're going to Eretz Israel? You, a kid, a schnook, what's going on? I said, I need the mitzvah of walking in Eretz Israel. So now, they're about to certify me. And they're talking to me, and they're trying to convince me how wrong I am, how difficult it is. What are you doing? And I figured that this is ridiculous. Anyone here have teenage children? Did you ever see a teenage child check out? You're talking to them, they're not there? That's what happened to me. I decided I'm checking out. They can talk to me as much as they want, I'm checking out. I am going to Eretz Israel. So I turned to Hashem. I shut everyone out. I'm not telling everyone this is how you have to live, but I checked everyone out and I said, Hashem, I want to cry. I want to cry. And I sat there for 5-7 minutes saying, Hashem, I want to cry. And I started crying. And they're talking, I have no idea what they're saying. And the tears are running down my face. And I say, Hashem, the Gemara says, there are times when you pray to Hashem and the gates of prayer are closed. But the gates of tears are never closed. Right now, I'm crying. If I'm crying because I want to go to Eretz Israel. Remember, the gates are never closed. I want to get to Eretz Israel. And I kept on saying that. This went on for, again, another 5-7 minutes. All of a sudden, my family walks out of the room, and a few minutes later, they walk back, here's your check, have a good trip, and go. This happened to me, right? It's a personal story, it happened. I don't like to talk personal stories, but I'm talking about thinking positive. I am going to accomplish this. I set myself a goal, and I know I'm going to do it. When you think positive, then everything becomes good. When everything becomes good, then you find the good that's in yourself. And not only that, did you ever notice that if you have something good, you're very happy to tell your friend, your neighbor, your family about it? It spreads. The same thing is when you find good within yourself, that good that joy that you have found spreads to the rest of your body too. You can feel it in your feet. You ever one day wake up somehow very happy, you feel like dancing? Right? Did it ever happen? You sometimes raise your hands, like Baruch Hashem, you feel, if you're happy and you know it, you clap your hands, right? You do things like that, right? Because the happiness has spread. Well, Rabbi Nachman says, when you take the positive thoughts that you have, apply it to your life, bring it internally, and let your heart know that you're really happy, that happiness will spread to the rest of you. Imagine that. That's what happens when you think positive. Go ahead. Go ahead.